Alyssa Calderwood, an instructional design student at San Diego State University. I'm here to present my proposal for informal learning at Point Defiance Park, located in Tacoma, Washington. This project is for my EDTEC 671 course that focuses on learning environmental design. The purpose of the proposed exhibit is to educate park visitors on the 5 major areas of interest as revealed in a needs assessment analysis. The exhibit's displays will provide educational opportunities for guests to informally learn about marine life in the Sound, how changing tides affect Owen Beach, scuba diving in the waters of Puget Sound, why we should never feed the wild animals in the park, and a historical look into the past of Point Defiance 1 century ago. The proposed exhibit will consist of 5 displays in total. Each display will have interactive and manipulative features to engage park visitors. The wording on the displays will be at a basic elementary level so as to be understood by the wide range of age and English proficiency levels that visit the park daily. Quick marks located on each display will link visitors to the Point Defiance website via their smartphones. The park's website will have tabs related to each display that further educates and engages guests with information about the park and how to get involved in the Point Defiance community. The proposed exhibit will be located along the boardwalk between the marina and Owen Beach. The 5 display sites are indicated by the colored stars on the map above. The displays shall be placed at natural stopping points along the boardwalk, such as next to benches, beach access stairwells, and at each end of the boardwalk's entrance, so as to grab park visitors' attention. One component of the informal learning opportunity is a picture passport activity available in the brochure holders at each end of the boardwalk. This activity will engage park visitors of all ages as they answer Explorer Challenge questions that correspond with the color blocks on the passport. Please note that box number 1 is blue. This corresponds with the Explorer Challenge box you will see on the first display later in the presentation. Each display will have raised images that correspond with the display's themes. Participants will read the question and answer by making a crayon or pencil rubbing of the image in the box on their worksheet. The passport can be turned into the park ranger station at the park's exit for a nominal prize or sticker. In addition to engaging display readers, the park can use the passports to analyze readers' comprehension, as well as track how many people participate in the activity. For the purposes of this presentation, we will begin our tour at the East Boardwalk entrance, adjacent to the marina parking lot. However, the exhibit is designed to be accessed from either entrance without a necessary sequence of information. All of the displays will be 3.5 feet wide by 2.5 feet tall and constructed from weather-durable materials. Any manipulatives or artifacts on the display will be anchored to the board, as well as covered by a liftable, see-through flap to protect the artifacts from the elements. Display number 1 highlights 3 of the most common marine mammals visitors often spot in the waters next to the park. It will be located between the wooden poles at the East Boardwalk entrance. This picture also shows the location of the second display site further down on the boardwalk, represented as a green star with the number 2 in it. Here we have an example of what one of the displays will look like to park visitors. Notice the authentic background photograph intended to further connect park visitors with their surroundings. The display contains a brief narrative of marine life in the Sound, with simple facts about each animal. The river otter in the center of the display has been turned into a mascot for the park, Zach the Otter, which can be later developed into branded merchandise sold in the park's visitor center to raise funds to maintain the display. Zach the Otter speaks firsthand to the visitors to describe his interaction with the park and warns guests not to disturb his natural behavior by attempting to feed or touch him. The yellow box at the lower left corner of the display will be consistent throughout the exhibit. The QR code allows park visitors to connect to the Point Defiance website via their smartphones for more information on the displays. You will notice that the Explorer Challenge box corresponds to the blue square on the picture passport, making it easier for park participants to track their answers. The picture passport is an optional activity, and those choosing not to participate can still experience the display without creating a crayon rubbing of the challenge answer. Display number 2 will highlight one of the park's more unusual sports, scuba diving in Puget Sound. Divers brave the freezing waters in protective gear to explore the park's underwater features. This display will be located next to the first bench along the boardwalk, approximately 30 yards west of the marina parking lot entrance. Display number 3 is strategically located next to one of the beach access stairwells halfway down the boardwalk. The display's theme educates park visitors about the changing tides and its effect on Owen Beach. The beach is 90% submerged at high tide, so park guests who visit at different times of the day will have varied interactions with the beach. A stop-motion video incorporated into the display's background image will show the tide cycle over one 24-hour period. Display number 4 focuses on a major issue identified by park managers, the domestication of wild animals due to human interaction at the park. The display addresses the timeless question of why. Why shouldn't I feed the animals? What are the actual dangers, and how does it change the animal's behavior? This display is located 30 yards east of the Owen Beach entrance, next to one of the trash cans that is frequented by foraging raccoons in the twilight hours. The final display in the exhibit is located at the Owen Beach entrance to the boardwalk, next to the snack bar and stairs leading to the park's upper levels. The historical photos tell the park's story over the past century. Images detail the change in the park's geography, as well as offer a comparison of park guests then and now. Information about the annual Fort Days Festival is provided to inform park guests of this fun event held every August at Fort Nisqually, located in the northwest end of Point Defiance Park. After guests read and interact with the Explore Point Defiance exhibit, we hope they leave with further knowledge about the marine life both above and below the waters surrounding the park, information about the tides and planning a visit so they can access the beach, how feeding the park's wild animals can have an adverse effect on the creature's habitat, and how the park has evolved over the past century. Here are some specifications about the proposed exhibit. There will be a kinesthetic element, such as the fur pelt samples from each animal in the marine life display, stop-motion video of time progression at Point Defiance Park for the tides display, personalized guest experience with mammals spotted in Puget Sound by creating animal characters such as Zach the otter, and a passport crayon rubbing activity for kids and adults to turn in to the ranger station for prizes or a sticker. The major technology used in this exhibit is quick-mark codes on each display. These codes enable visitors to capture a barcode image on their smartphone that links them to Metro Parks' website, thus furthering Point Defiance Park's connection with guests once they exit the park grounds. Guest interaction is critical in the success of this exhibit. A passport worksheet is available at both ends of the boardwalk to encourage interaction with the displays. Participants can make a crayon or pencil rubbing at each display to answer an Explorer Challenge question that corresponds to the display's theme. These passports can be turned in to the ranger station at the park's main entrance for a Point Defiance sticker or prize. There are several ways to analyze and assess data gained from evaluating this exhibit. QuickMark website analytics is one option to track how many people visit the website once they've linked through the QuickMark. Also, we can evaluate comments left on the website to gain further understanding into the insight of the park visitors. Lastly, we can tally the passport worksheets to track how many park visitors participate in the activity. So what are the next steps in making this exhibit a reality? I would like to meet with Metro Parks to finalize the display sites, gain project approval, determine budget and funding sources, create a timeline for production, add exhibit tabs to Metro Parks website, and link the websites in with quick mark codes. Thank you so much for visiting my presentation and have a wonderful day.